Hi everybody, welcome to New RPG News. I am joined with a special co-anchor today. Who are you?
My name is Taylor from the channel The Gaming Shelf. Thanks for having me on, David. It's cool to be here and being on the new show.
He drove all the way from South Carolina to Las Vegas just for this news show.
That's it, just to be in the video.
So exciting. I know. All this, and then he's going home tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm sending him on his way.
That's right, kicking me to the curb.
Okay, so we're going to be starting off the news. We have a lot of stuff to discuss today, as usual. But we're going to start off because Yoshi P is tired of trolls complaining. He says, there's just a lot of people who just want to yell at you.
We know nothing about that.
No, nothing at all. Crazy commenters on the internet just wanting to yell at you for no reason?
Never seen that.
Shocking. He says, there's a lot of people who just yell at you. People I've never seen, met, or talked to before. It's weird. What did we ever do to them? Perhaps they just write from a place of negativity and malice. It is tiresome. You're preaching to the choir, Yoshi P.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Every single... If you follow me on Twitter, you will see some negative comments coming out. It's kind of crazy. It says the documentary highlighted a handful of these comments, though most likely picked some of the tamer ones that are appropriate for TV, such as iconic battles are so plain looking. Still the only Final Fantasy that I'm not going to buy day one. Yeah, so poor Yoshi P, poor YouTubers who just want to present the news and don't need to have comments from such a place of malice.
I know, it's like we're just talking about fun games and they're like, you haven't even played them or blah, oh my gosh.
I know, it's like,
make a whole
what do
video.
you know about JRPGs? Huh, it's not like I've been playing them since, 1986 or anything, but what do I know?
Yeah, I've been playing them for 25 plus years. I don't know anything.
Nothing at all. Square Enix wants feedback on Final Fantasy 16. But the thing is, they want feedback only from the Japanese player base. They do not want English feedback. So this is odd to me because they explicitly made Final Fantasy 16 for the Western audience. They even went so far as to record the voice acting in English and then later go over it in Japanese. They purposely made it more Western to kind of attract this Western audience. So if they're going to be asking for feedback from the Japanese audience, I don't think it's going to be very positive.
No, well, it even says here, it's like, okay, so they changed gameplay, the darker storytelling. I mean, those were my biggest problems, like the lack of serious RPG elements, and then it was like pretty grim like the whole way through. And I mean, most of the themes are very Japanese, like defying fate and killing God and all that stuff,
killing
right?
God, yeah.
I mean, spoilers, I guess, but
it goes from Game of Thrones into let's kill God in about 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but I would love to see the results of that survey because I'm very curious to see what Japan thinks of this game.
I think, okay, so here's the thing. This survey comes hot off the heels after Yoshi P's previous comments of saying like, hey, everybody's complaining, so now they're going to put the survey, and I feel like that's kind of counterintuitive because this is like a way for them to say, here, put all of your complaints into this, and, well, hopefully I personally have faith in the Japanese player base that they'll say, let's go back and let's have a world map. Let's have turn-based battles. Let's do it really nice and pretty with pixel art. Please, people in Japan, please, I'm begging you, put that in your survey.
I think Pixel is a little wishful thinking, but I think everything else we could make it happen. Can you imagine though? I know he mentioned this, but could you imagine if like FF17 was like looked like Octopath Traveler? That would be cool.
I'd be all about it. I'd be all about it.
Yeah, that would be neat.
That would be so freaking cool. Final Fantasy VII Remake plot hole has been explained as Aerith having memories of future events. Even though I don't know how you could have a memory of a future event. It's more like a premonition rather than a memory, but whatever. It says here that this comes through a translated tweet that was translated by Silicon Era. And we know that this remake isn't just a one-for-one remake. We know that they're changing a lot of stuff, but we also know that Arius is an ancient, and she just knows stuff. So they're not exactly saying that it's a sequel where she knows what's going on. They're not exactly saying that it's a multiverse or different dimensions. They're just saying that she's having premonitions of future events, and that's their way of basically covering their ass, essentially.
I feel like they're trying to not spoil the next game while trying to answer this question, because there's a lot of moments in Remake. Like, for example, there's the moment when Aerith goes to save Marlene at 7th Heaven, and she like goes to grab Marlene, and it does a little glitch thing, and then Marlene's like, oh, and then Aerith is like, shh, don't say anything. So there's like stuff. I feel like Aerith knows stuff. Like, I feel like she knows everything from the original game, but she can't tell anybody that, and I don't know why. And there's like all kinds of weird stuff where she hints that she knows. Like, there's a scene in Remake where Cloud and Aerith are talking, and then Cloud, he does the glitch thing, and it shows like Aerith praying at the City of the Ancients and the holy materia falling and stuff, and it's like, if you have never played the original, you have no idea what that is.
I don't think anybody's playing this game who hasn't played the original. Right. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in my own little bubble here, but
I think she does kind of know what's going on. But they can't say that, right? Because that would be a huge spoiler. I think that's going to get revealed in the next game.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think she's going to die in part 2?
Oh, that is the $1 million question. I don't know, because I don't. My theory is that it doesn't end at City of the Ancients. I think it ends at Nibelheim when they go back for the first time. Like, they go to Cosmo Canyon and then Nibelheim. Because I'm trying to...
And then they're going to plug all that extra stuff into just one other disc?
That's the thing I keep struggling with, because I don't know, like... Remake Part 1, it only covers Midgar, right?
I know,
like, you have
it's tiny. I know, you have a lot more game to cover. Midgar was, 5 hours in the original game? And the original game was 50, you know?
So I don't know. That's the part I'm wrestling with, is I just don't know how much they can put in one game. I'm surprised it's not 4 games.
I'm guessing. Here's my prediction. Yes, she will die in Part 2. However, I feel like she will be resurrected in Part 3. That's my guess. That's my take.
Okay. I could see that. Because she's, I don't know, they did such a good job with her in the first game. It would be such a shame for her not to be in the last game, you know?
Yeah, I think that Arius, she deserves this.
Yeah.
She definitely deserves it. Sea of Stars is becoming the first game that will simultaneously hit PlayStation Plus as well as Game Pass. So if you are a member of either of the services, you can get your hands on this fantastic Chrono Trigger-inspired game on August 29th for free! That's so freaking cool. I, for one, am so looking forward to this. This is like the game. This is the game of August. The game of the summer, really, for me.
You know, I'm really surprised that they're doing this, because usually companies will put their games on that service if they're not totally sure it's gonna do sales. Like, so for example, like that Exoprimal game, that dinosaur game, they're like, this probably won't sell, so screw it. We'll take Xbox's money, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I don't know if they're not confident, because obviously the whole JRPG community is super excited about this game, especially with another game getting delayed that we'll get to later. But I'm shocked that they're doing that. And that's also interesting, because usually a lot of these types of games, they have contracts where you can't do that. So I'm wondering how they managed to work that to do both. That's kind of interesting.
Especially because Xbox seems to be... Xbox like to have their little timed exclusivity thing, like they were doing with Atlas and the Persona games and stuff like that. So it's interesting that this little tiny indie game of all games, not even like a massive Square Enix game, this little indie game was able to negotiate this.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if they had a lot of goodwill from... The Messenger, their last game or something, and maybe they were just able to pull it and it had a good Kickstarter. I don't know, but it's interesting. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this.
Game of the summer. Game of the summer. Like a Dragon Gating, The Man Who Erased His Name is going to have a digital-only Western release. Ugh! I can't even stand it. This is the worst. Oh my god, I'm a physical collector and I love physical games, and I love being able to hold them and have them in my hand and see them and look at them. And I know that it doesn't really matter to have a tangible object, but It matters to me. It just does. Anyway, it says, in a recent tweet by the developer's official Twitter account promoting the game, they specify it as being available for download November 9th. So there has been no explicit confirmation regarding a lack of physical release in the West. However, it seems pretty likely that there will not be one after this tweet. They went ahead, they reached out to Sega for comment, and Sega did not get back to them. Now, a lot of times whenever a game doesn't have a physical release here in America or in the West, you are able to go to Play Asia and you're able to order it there. So hopefully there is a Play Asia release, but I am not sure on this one. We just have to wait it out.
And this is an interesting one. So I was looking this game up on the PlayStation Store. I think it's a smaller game because they listed it for only $50.
Oh, really?
Which is weird because I'm like, isn't this like it's like Yakuza? It's like a brand new you know, you'd think it'd be 70. So I'm wondering if like maybe because it's not. Guided means side game. So I'm wondering if because it's not as big, but still, I mean, that's still surprising.
It's Yakuza, and Yakuza has really like made a splash ever since they've come out, and they've had a lot of games recently, so yeah, I am surprised about that too. But you know, I'm also not going to say, hey, please, you know, make your games more expensive. I don't want that either. You know, I'm the last person to say that.
But this is, I feel like we're starting to see the beginning of the end of physical game, which is a shame because like I think Alan Wake 2 is also going digital only. So
yeah, but I don't care about that. I care about this game.
Yeah,
I don't care about the mainstream stuff. Leave my RPGs alone.
I hate to say it, but I think this is not going to be the last game that doesn't get a physical release, which stinks. But
it definitely, yeah. I blame Xbox for this. Xbox and their digital-only consoles. I hate you.
PlayStation has a digital-only console too.
Yeah, but I still blame Xbox.
It's more fun to blame them.
Yeah, blame them! Blame Microsoft! Square Enix is having a sale on their physical items over on Amazon. A lot of these are regular priced, but a lot of them are also on sale, such as Octopath Traveler 2 for only $39, so 33% off. Forspoken, still $45. I'm shocked that's not like $10. I'm really surprised, believe me. Theatrhythm Fire and Bar Line is $35, 30% off. Tactics Ogre Reborn, $29.99. Same thing with Harvestella and Nier Autonoma, $29.99. In fact, and I didn't see it on this sale, but the other day I was looking on Amazon and I saw that Dragon Quest Treasures was on sale for $29.99 as well, and I went ahead and I picked that up physically because it is Dragon Quest, and I just cannot handle only having a digital copy of it. You know, I have to have a physical copy. It's Dragon Quest after all. The Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, that's 30% off for $35. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, that's about it. Yeah, this Remake Integrate is $140. That's not exactly on sale.
Yeah. That's got to be like a reseller or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened there.
Something's going on there. I don't know what's going on there. But
that's great. I mean, Octopath, that's probably my game of the year right now. So to get it for 33% off, that's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially
grab
physically.
it if you haven't.
Yeah. I bought the collector's edition of that.
Oh,
one,
nice.
With the little statuettes. I was looking at them back there.
One of those. Yeah, that's cool to see the little diorama stuff.
Yeah, super cool, super cool. So yeah, if you're a physical collector like me, or you just like to have physical games, be sure to check out Amazon and pick up some of these games on the cheap. Nihon Falcom and Promethean Books are partnering up for some tabletop RPGs, like Dungeons and Dragons type of stuff. I've never played a Dungeons and Dragons game in my life, but I know that a lot of y'all out there have, and you know what? It might just be like a cool little collector's thing. It says here that Ys Age of Heroes will be set in the world of Ys, with players controlling adventurers who follow in the footsteps of Adol Christian and his allies. Meanwhile, the Legend of Heroes Trails of Destiny, like Tales of Destiny, but whatever. That
won't be confusing at all.
That would be very, not confusing at all. Will be set on the continent of Zemuria as players investigate mysteries and corruption against the political backdrop. Both of them will utilize the Promethean system rules and come with a world outline as well as a variety of character backgrounds and classes, and they are set to release next year sometime.
So does the adult class just come with amnesia out of the box? Is that how that works?
I think that his class should be Shipwreck Captain.
That's right.
And he has to begin every single one crashing his ship. And that's just the end of that story.
And then in East 10, they're giving him his own ship. That's going to be a disaster.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, he has to ride those waves in Nordics, yeah. So I don't really play a lot of, like, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. Have you?
I played one campaign of Pathfinder, but I'm the kind of player that likes to just make chaos, and so all my friends just were not pleased with me. Like, we would go into a room and they wanted to inspect everything, and I'm like, let me just go and break shit, and they're like, no, and then I was like, okay, I'm out. I can't do this.
I would flip the table. I would strangle you. I'd be like, we need to kill the dragon right now. What are you doing?
but there's a thing over here. I'll be right back.
Screw the thing. Screw the sparkly. Kill the dragon.
That's interesting that they're doing like Ease and trail stuff though. I'm sure, like you said, that could be a cool just like collector's piece.
Yeah, it's a flagship series. You know, they are coming out with something new though, something that's not related to Trails and Ease.
I'm crossing my fingers that it's Tokyo Xanadu too.
We'll see. We'll see. Nier Automata version 1.1a anime second season has been confirmed. This was a great game, and now there's an anime based upon it, and now there's a season 2. I don't watch anime, and I really have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just presenting this to you to let y'all know that there's season 2. Yay!
Sweet. I'm kind of with you. I haven't watched anime in a while. Like, a lot of the anime I would follow just took way too long to come out, you know, especially this one, because I heard this got delayed. But hey, for everybody that's been enjoying it, like, good for you. This is totally apropos of nothing of what this is about, but this article is really bugging me because it says, after the release of episodes 9, and it's spelled out 9 to 12, and it's the numerical 12.
It does right there, yeah.
So I don't know if that's a weird Yoko Taro thing, or whoever wrote the article just decided to do that, but I noticed that. I'm like, I have to say something.
Now that's bothering me too.
Yeah, right.
It's the little things.
That's right.
Edge of Eternity New Beginning Update is now available on the PC, and it is due out by the end of the summer on consoles. This is not a DLC. This is a brand new free update coming out for Edge of Eternity for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and it will be out on PC already, but then later on in the summer for the other consoles. This is going to be adding in a new procedural dungeon featuring 50 floors of challenges, as well as a brand new prologue. That's pretty cool. It says that you also bring in an auto-battling mode, Weatherstones, additional accessory slot, New Game Plus, and more. And the reason why they did this was because whenever it came out, like, everybody was like really like kind of thrilled about it, and they all wanted to play it, and then you didn't hear anything about it. And that's because a lot of people couldn't get past the very beginning of the game. The prologue was too obtuse, so they've kind of chopped it down, put it in more bite-sized chunks, and just made it better for players. Have you tried out this game?
I haven't. It was one of those games that I remember. It's funny because I remember leading up to release, everybody was so hyped on it, and then it came out, and like, I didn't hear anything, and then like I think this had pretty middling review scores, so I just didn't bother with it. Yeah. So hopefully this can help, because I mean, it's always cool to see like indie studios doing like JRPG style games. So hopefully
I played it for maybe 2 or so hours on Steam before I dropped it, because it was cool, but there was, at the time I played it on like release day, there was like still some bugs, and there was some issues. I remember like there was some traveling issues that I had with it, so maybe I'll give it a new shot with this new update. Nippon Ichi Software Summer's greeting card teases a new game announcement. This is cool, and there's a history behind this. They do this every single summer, and they have teased really good games. This isn't like crap games, like Disgaea 5, The Labyrinth of Refrain, Coven of Dusk, The Witch and the Hundred Knight 2, Closed Nightmare, Destiny Connect, TikTok Travelers, Disgaea 6 and Disgaea 7 have all been teased by these greeting cards in the past. So this is the greeting card that they sent out this time, and from what I can discern from this, it's a person sitting at a bar stool, kind of looking at like a cell phone. Nobody's behind the bar, but over towards the right, there's, I don't know, astrology, star charts, that sort of stuff. And down here on the coming soon, there's like a little star over the eye and a little star down here. So I'm thinking it has something to do with maybe outer space. Maybe it's like, Rogue Galaxy, and you're, I don't know, going through time and space, and you're drinking alcohol along the way.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's funny because like I look at that and I think of something like Catherine, right? Like there's that like the red Frode narrator that sits at the bar. But no, I mean, I gotta say I like that Nippon Ichi is like doing more than just Disgaea, because like those labyrinth games, those dungeon crawler games are really cool. I know.
I heard that the latest one was amazing. You and Backlog Battles Alex were talking about it a lot.
Oh yeah, it was fun. And I'm not usually like a pure dungeon crawler guy, but like they do, like it does a lot of really neat stuff where you can like smash down walls and like you can break how the dungeon is supposed to go, which is kind of cool. So you know, they always have interesting ideas. So I'm curious to see what this ends up being. As long as it's not just the same old, another strategy RPGs with a different coat of paint. So as long as they're trying something new, I mean,
I don't think it's going to be Disgaea. This does not look like Disgaea to me. No. So I'm hoping like brand new franchise. That would be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that.
Yeah. Bandai Namco announces their Gamescom lineup with thrilling surprises teased. This is going to be August 23rd through the 27th over in Cologne, Germany. There are some games that we know for a fact will be covered at their little convention. That's Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, Naruto x Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, Park Beyond, Sandland, Tekken 8, and more. The only one that I really care about of all these listed is Sandland, but it says that Bandai Namco Europe is also keeping other thrilling surprises for Gamescom. Stay tuned for more and see you there. I'm personally hoping for a Xenosaga collection. That would be cool.
Yeah, especially, I mean, we were just talking that like they're doing a Batten Kaitos collection. So like I know that people have been wanting a Xenosaga, and I know they did a remaster for like a couple of the Dot Hack games, but not all of them or something.
Yeah, I think it was like just like the GUs, but not the other ones. So like the GUs are worth nothing now, but the other ones are worth like $500 if not more. So maybe those too. It seems weird to only remaster a couple.
I know. I'm totally unfamiliar with how those are all connected, so I'm wondering if it's like one's only a set of the story and then another's different, or I don't know.
Yeah, but they're basically like an RPG but set in an MMO universe. Yeah. So they're supposed to be MMOs, but they're single players essentially, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me know what you guys think that they're going to be announcing as their thrilling surprise. The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages, and Oracle of Seasons is going to be added to the Nintendo Switch online service. Holla frickin' Luya! I've been talking about these frickin' games for the longest time now, saying like, where are these games? When are they going to be coming? I've been talking about actual remakes of these games because I love 2D Zelda. 3D Zelda can go die in a fire, but 2D Zelda, that's great. I'm liking it. I'm hoping that this is going to pave the way for a remake of these in the same way as we got a Link's Awakening remake too.
I mean, they have that art style all ready to go, so I'm wondering if they could just kind of drag and drop the assets. I mean, obviously it's not that easy, but a lot of the hard work is done now, right? Because it's like similar gameplay, the style.
It really is. Because, I mean, even back in the day, Link's Awakening came out for the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, but then they actually put out a remake, a deluxe version for the Game Boy Color, where these came out on the Game Boy Color as well. And there was supposed to be a third Oracle game that never came out for whatever reason. So maybe we'll finally get like a collection of all three of them? Maybe? That would be cool. Infinity's Trash, Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai, details character battle styles and 16 minutes of gameplay. So this is a Dragon Quest action RPG based upon an anime starring the wonderfully named characters of Dai, Pop, Ma'am, and Hi Uncle. I know.
Those are ridiculous names. Oh my god.
Even the game's title is ridiculous. I called it Infinity's Trash because, like, come on.
It's right there.
You can't not say the joke. Like, my god. So, looking at this, I know it's based upon an anime. I haven't watched the anime because I just don't. But it's also very Dragon Quest II inspired. You can see Dai being the Prince of Middenhall. If you look at Pop is obviously the Prince of Cannock. And then down here, Ma'am... Ma'am, she's the Princess of Moonbrook. And it's just like, and then Hi Uncle, they don't really show him. I'm guessing he might be like Haragon? you know, and then all 4 of them to get together. I don't know. I haven't watched the anime. I don't do anime, but it's just, I'm still so looking forward to this. It's coming out in September, and it just looks fantastic. September 28th.
And worldwide, too. That's interesting. Usually the Dragon Quest games, they've been doing that staggered release thing. But yeah, this looks cool. I'm really looking forward to playing this.
I've played all the Dragon Quest games. What's your history with Dragon Quest?
I started with 8, and then I kind of played a little bit of everything in between. Like, I played 11, I played the 7 remake, I played both of the Builders games, a little bit of the 2 Heroes games.
Okay.
But yeah, 11's probably my favorite. I really like 11.
Well, Builders 2 was based upon the story of Dragon Quest 2.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of neat right there. So maybe you'll have a little bit of background information whenever it comes to Die, Infinity's trash.
I'm really looking forward to playing as High Uncle. I mean, I've been really looking forward to that.
I want to play as Mam. The Legend of Eiyuden Boundless Trails gets a characters and gameplay trailer, which I'm going to be showing right above me. I loved this game. I played it when it was first translated back on the PSP. I even Let's Played it on my channel back in the day. And if you're thinking to yourself, ugh, it's a Legend of Heroes game. Oh my god, it's nothing but dialogue. It's gonna take forever. Ugh. No. This is not. This is an action RPG. This is like a platformer. It almost plays more akin to something like Mario than anything else. Like, this is side-scrolling, but it's totally an action RPG. You get different weapons, you get different magic spells, different items. It's a whole lot of fun. There's 4 different worlds, and in each world, the seasons are like out of whack. And as you go through and you fix the world and fix the season, it's going to go back into its normal season. So then you can go back to previous stages and find hidden areas. Like if it's like a winter stage, you can go to it whenever it's summertime, and you will be able to like crawl up vines or dive under the water that was once iced over. This is intricate. This is a lot of fun. It also stars Eiyuden Herschel, who is Toa's grandfather. So this is going to tie in this game. I'm going to imagine they're going to finally tie it in to the larger Legend of Heroes universe.
I didn't know that he was Toa's grandfather. That's interesting. I was always wondering how this connected the trail, so that's interesting. I didn't know that.
So this takes place about 100 or so years before the events of, the Legend of Heroes that we know of. So yeah, it takes a little island called Lost. Well, no, the world is called Lost Heaven, but it takes place in a tiny little island off the coast of Zemuria there.
That looks cool. I mean, visually, you know what it reminds me of is Mega Man Legends, kind of. Like that, like sort of simple polygon look. But yeah, I've been looking forward to this, so I'm glad they're finally localized.
Yeah, this is coming out in the fall, September 22nd. Wow, September's going to be loaded.
Yeah, that Eternites.
Yeah,
isn't the Super Mario RPG also?
Remake? Yeah, that's coming out, and Infinity's Strash. That's coming out too. That we just talked about. September's going to be loaded. Good lord! It's not an RPG, but it's my show, and I think it's cool, so I'm going to cover it. Parasol Stars: The Story of Bubble Bobble 3. I know, that's a blast from the past. Is coming out for the PS5, Xbox, PS4, Switch late this year. This was originally released back on the PC Engine back in 1991, and there will be a physical edition released as well by Strictly Limited Games that will be available through its online store for purchase starting July 27th. So you're a little bit late whenever you're watching this news show, but it is what it is. I loved Bubble Bobble whenever I was a kid. That was such a fun game.
I didn't know it had a story.
Yeah, I know. I just thought it was 2 little dinosaurs who would throw out bubbles out of their mouth. Yeah. And that was it. It was like a puzzle arcade game or whatever.
But the gameplay looks cute. So,
yeah, it's super cute. Little parasol boys. Like, what happened to the dinosaurs? They're fighting against unicorns or something. Like, it's just adorable. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes has been delayed to not just Q1, Q2 of next year. We haven't heard anything, not hide nor hair, of this game. And I was thinking it was because, Konami was going to be coming out with Suikoden 1 and 2 remastered, and they were like, oh, we're just going to wait for that to happen. But no, it's just a delay. This sucks. Ugh, but I'd rather there be a delayed game than a bad game. Is there a quote about that?
Yeah, I think Miyamoto said that. Yeah, whatever. Rush games forever bad. A delayed game is eventually good. Something like that. Yeah. I was getting a suspicion that they were going to delay this because, like, they did, the not E3, like they did Summer Games Fest, and Xbox had an event, and PlayStation had an event, and it wasn't at anything. And I'm like, that's odd. Isn't it supposed to come out soon? So this is, like, not totally surprising because it didn't show up anywhere. But it's definitely a bummer. I was looking forward to that, especially like we were getting all these like throwback RPGs, like we talked about Sea of Stars earlier, and so it was cool that we were getting like the Suikoden or Suikoden, however you say it, like spiritual successor. But take the time you need. As long as it's good, it'll be fine.
I used to call it Suikoden.
Suikoden?
Yeah, I have but then again, I can't pronounce anything to save my life. So. And for our last story of the day, and we're going to be ending as we normally do with news of the weird. Final Fantasy XIV Direct Drive Turntable System, because that's what everybody wants as a record player for Final Fantasy XIV, is releasing now for the incredibly low price of $1,700 for a record player.
Oh my god, that's so ridiculous. Square Enix likes to do this. Like, I remember, I forget if it was like Kingdom Hearts, but they had like a Kingdom Hearts watch that was like insanely overpriced. It's like, hey, let's just get a record player and slap some, logos.
That's literally what this is. Like, this looks like a Louis Vuitton bag or something with this crap on the record. Like, what is this?
To me, it's really interesting how record players have made this big comeback, and like, that seems, I don't know anything about vinyl, but that seems incredibly overpriced to me.
Oh my gosh, I know. Like, I want to say record players back when I was a little kid probably cost $80 to $100, and it was what it was, and everybody used record players because that's all there was, It was the upgrade from the 8-track or the 45, but once we got CDs, nobody used a record player anymore. I remember my brother was into records, and he'd drive all the way over through the foothills of North Georgia. He'd find these records from the Beatles or Elvis Costello or whoever for like 25 cents. Nobody wanted records. And now all of a sudden records are back, and record players are costing $1,700 for a record player.
This
shit blows my mind.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Somebody will buy it, though.
Oh,
somebody will buy it.
Somebody will buy
it. A lot of somebodies will buy it.
It's not going to be me, though.
Me neither. I don't know if I've ever even, like, touched a vinyl record player ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you never had one as a kid?
Mm-mm.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so let's talk about one of my first memories of having a record player. I was probably 5 or 6 years old. And I got Whitney Houston's Greatest Hits.
Nice.
And it had I Want to Dance with Somebody on it. And I put the record on, and I started dancing around the living room or whatever, and the record player was on the living room. It was carpet. And my father's in the kitchen, and he goes, "David, you can't dance when the record is playing. You're gonna make it skip." So he had me go inside the kitchen, and I had to dance in the kitchen on the tile floor where it wouldn't make the record skip. So there's my record memories.
All right.
So that's it for this week's new RPG news. Let me know what you guys liked the most. Let me know what you guys thought about the news. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to cover next week. And let me know what you guys thought about having a co-host or co-anchor as well. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this, actually.
Yeah, it was cool to come on. I watch it every week, so it was cool to be on it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, look,
because there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that even I miss. Because like I'll check Gamatsu every few days, but there's always stuff that slips through the cracks. I'm like,
there's a lot of stuff out there. There's always a lot of stuff out there to talk about. Anyway, y'all, have a good day.